Hello guys, MZ1815 here, and it's almost the end of the year, and it's good to look back at the stuff that happened this year. All the games that came out, all the good ones and the bad ones, and this video is going to be for the top 5 most disappointing games. Not worst, because that would be Ride to Hell Retribution, or the 1% or whatever it is. No one gives a damn, or they do, but it was terrible. It's one of the worst games I've ever played, and I played through it. But I didn't expect much out of it anyway, so it wasn't disappointing. It was exactly as terrible as I thought it would be. So here are the 5 games that I played that I was sad to play because I was excited for them. Now, before we actually get to those top 5, there will be 2 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1. Lost Planet 3 for PC, Xbox 360, and PS3. Lost Planet is a series that has had its ups and downs. It's never been critically acclaimed or anything, but it's been pretty decent. Lost Planet 2 took a different route from Lost Planet 1 and went like a Monster Hunter type thing, and it was fun to play with friends and even with random people, just get together and kill the giant alien things on an icy planet. Lost Planet 3 was made by completely different people, which is never a good start. And the people who made it aren't really known for much good anyway, so once that was announced they were developing it, that was not a good sign. When it came out, it was not exactly given great reviews, and when I played it, it's nothing more than a cruddy Dead Space knockoff type thing. It's terrible. It's a terrible third-person shooter with excessive backtracking, and it just doesn't respect your time at all. Endless waves of the same enemy, that's fun, and frickin', hey, you have a giant mech thing? No, you can't use it to fight though, that wouldn't make sense or anything. I'll be honest, I couldn't even finish the damn game. It was tedious. Just walking back and forth from your headquarters out to like another generic icy cavern to be kinda scared by the terrible mechanics in it, and it's really just trying to eat off the Dead Space thing of, oh, he's an engineer, he's not a soldier, but he has an assault rifle. What the hell? The next honorable, or dishonorable mention, should we go for that? That's a bit cheesy. Next dishonorable mention will be NBA Live 14. I just feel bad for Kyrie Irving, that he had to be on the cover of that game that is just worse than 2K14, NBA 2K14 in every single way. There's no way that game's better. Like, there's no way you could look and say, oh, it's better at this than that. No, it's just worse. And they had multiple years to fix this up, and it was the re-emergence of EA's basketball franchise, and it sucked. Why the one franchise, though, that they were good at, the baseball ones, they don't make anymore, because freaking licensing. It's all backwards. We should switch it. Give 2K football and EA baseball, because they were good at that. Not fair. Now, number 5 on our list is a game that it's not bad, it's just not what I wanted it to be. Of course, I love my David Cage, all his games, Omicron, the Nomads whatever, freaking Indigo Prophecy, whatever you call it, and of course Heavy Rain, which I loved, and the next game, Beyond Two Souls, it could fix the one thing that was wrong with Heavy Rain. The French people doing American accents. Because you got Willem Dafoe and Ellen Page, who is in stuff, and people like her. And I like Willem Dafoe. So you get your star power, and this is all good, so this should fix it, right? No, it doesn't, because you made a game that you emphasized too little on the gameplay this time, which is, yeah, well, David Cage is never known for that. His games aren't known for gameplay. But the ideas of freaking Beyond Two Souls are weaker than Heavy Rain's, like the crazy serial killer thing. That was a lot cooler than ghost, alien, interdimensional people, magic, ghost, dead persons. Yeah, no, I don't know how the actors kept straight faces doing this. This was absurd, and I love this idea. You know, I liked Indigo Prophecy, that was absurd, but Beyond Two Souls, we're supposed to be grown up about this, Mr. Cage. We're supposed to be grown up. And you weren't at all grown up with writing this. It's like you got a bunch of ideas that you wanted to make different games, and you just shoved them all together, put them in the blender, and then for some reason putting them in the washing machine to give them nice shiny graphics, which they weren't bad. But creepy mouths aside, no, it wasn't a great storytelling experience. It was an alright storytelling experience with bad gameplay. So it's worse than Heavy Rain in that sense. Because Heavy Rain, oh, you're gonna cut off your fingers or something? No, this one it was like, do you want to try to not get raped, or do you want to less not try to get raped? It didn't work out for me. It's still a good game, and I'd say if you're interested in David Cage games, if you haven't already played it, you should still play it, but is it as good as Heavy Rain? No, it's not. I don't even think it has the quirky, silly absurdities of Indigo Prophecy. Sad. Number 4! Amnesia Machine for Pigs. Or Machine for Pigs. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the people who made Amnesia, one of the scariest, most terrifying games I've ever attempted to play. I haven't finished it, I'll be honest. It's too scary, too scary. And let's just get the indie studio to the Chinese room who's made one of the most beautiful indie games in graphic fidelity-wise. Dear Esther. I don't like Dear Esther. I think it's a waste of time. It's not a game, but you can't lie. You can't deny the fact that they did make a beautiful thing. It's not really a game, but a thing. So if we combine the gameplay of the Amnesia folks and the graphics of the Dear Esther folks, won't we make a great game? No, because freaking the Dear Esther folks did everything, and they suck at making games. They could just make stuff looking pretty and stuff. They have the best graphic designers out of probably most of the indie studios that are major and stuff. I mean, there's probably some tiny indie studio somewhere that's making crazy freaking stuff, but other than that, they make the highest graphical fidelity games, and Amnesia Machine for Pigs was very nice looking, but the gameplay itself lacked, well, gameplay. There wasn't much. It was kind of like a museum tour of this industrial place, and it was kind of the same thing. I understand the idea of it. Amnesia, you don't remember everything. Okay. A Machine for Pigs. It's a cool, big, giant thing that does stuff. I won't get into details. But it wasn't really scary, and there wasn't much worrying about hiding in the closets, because you couldn't really interact with anything, and there was no inventory, and it was like, there was less stuff to do in this one. It was less of a game than Amnesia. And Amnesia had that perfect balance, and this one screwed it up. It was just all artsy-fartsy crap, and I don't think you should even buy or even attempt to play this. Go play, what's it called? Not Contain. Outlast. Outlast was outstandingly horrifying, and oh my god, that was the Amnesia. It was the... That's so weird. Outlast was Amnesia for this year, not Amnesia. Amnesia wasn't Amnesia. Number 3, Aliens Colonial Marines. Now, yeah, how is this a disappointment? Well, I actually was quite optimistic. I mean, I wasn't thinking it was going to be, like, critically acclaimed or outstanding, but I thought it was going to be some fun. I'll get my, whatever their, god, I forgot the name of them. I feel bad. Whatever the gun is called in the Alien franchise, and go shoot some aliens. And the multiplayer ideas sounded cool, too. And we're gonna get co-op with someone and, like, play that, but no, frickin' Gearbox screwed up again. I had built up a little bit of confidence in them, considering how Borderlands 2 went out in a alright state, and I liked Borderlands 2 more than Borderlands 1. But we should just remember, Gearbox, they're not that great, really. They made Borderlands, and alright DLC for Half-Life. Everything else, all the stuff, other stuff, like big games they tried to do, they suck. Maybe they're getting bad stuff to make, but Duke Nukem, this is 2 games other than Borderlands in a row that sucked. Or weren't that good. Now they sucked, let's be honest. Now what was wrong with it? It was buggy, glitchy, uninspiring, kind of just not very good production values and stuff, and it's not worth your time at all. Unless you want to have a laugh with a friend, but even then, you could just play Right to Hell, because that's more fun. God, is it fun or funnier? Probably a little bit of both. Point is skip. It sucked. Really bad. Number 2. Battlefield 4. Yeah, this was a disappointment because, first off, maybe I should just stop having faith in the freaking DICE to make a good single-player campaign anymore, because that sucked again. Forgettable co-op experience, yeah, I don't even remember it, that's how great it was. And multiplayer, the one thing that Battlefield is good for, multiplayer, because other bad companies, they had good single-player, but multiplayer, that's what we're all here for, right? They screwed it up! It crashes 50% of the time. How can you release a game in a state like this? It's terrible. It's terrible. It's dreadful. It's not worth to even play right now. And I don't know if they'll ever actually fix it up. Maybe I'll have to buy a freaking expansion to fix it, or DLC map pack. Expansion's giving them too much credit. And I have not been able to play the multiplayer at all. All my computers, all 4 to 5 of them crash. The Dell crashes, which has a, like, 550 in it, so it's like, alright, maybe it's not good enough. Okay, how about let's try the laptop with a 670 in it. No, that 670M. No, that doesn't work. How about the actual 670 desktop? No. How about the 760? No. None of them work. That's terrible to have your game crash this much. How did it get released in such a state? I don't know. It's aggravating, and I can't even play the damn game that I want to play a lot. If I bought the game, I'd be really pissed off and I'd want to return it. Seriously, it's an unacceptable state that it was released in, and it still hasn't been fixed. Don't get lied to. It hasn't been fixed as of 2013. 2013, it's not fixed at all. It may have even gotten worse. It started out alright in the beta. Actual release, I haven't been able to play really at all. So sad. Because I love Battlefield. Seriously, it's a beautiful looking game. Beautiful. But you can't play the damn thing. And number 1, the very most horrible, disappointing, freaking train wreck of a game. Rebirth. Now, what have I played in the X series? I played the first one, I skipped the second one, and I played X3, the Prelude, and Terran, whatever, and stuff, and yeah, that sounds like I really was interested. I was really interested in it, even though I let it on autopilot and let it fly across to wherever it was going, and I'd go do my business. Oh god, I meant like go get food or something like that. And Rebirth. No, this is a buggy mess. They tried to make it available, so, like accessible, not available, accessible for everyone to play, and it just doesn't work out. It doesn't at all. It's horrible. The menus look nice, and the game graphically looks alright too. It looks better than the previous ones, which it should, because it took years for them to make this thing, and it comes out in a buggy state, which is alright, it's a big game, but the ideas, the concepts of the game aren't good themselves, and that can't be fixed without just either doing expansion or something. And I was really kind of pumped for this game, but I was also very wary, I was wary its release, because it really wasn't advertised at all. They didn't give out any copies to anyone, and they just kind of slipped under the radar. They're like, yeah, they probably even knew that this is trash. Why are we releasing this? Because we want a little bit more money. It's like, oh, yeah, you're not gonna make much after the word gets out that this game sucks. It's terrible. It's definitely the biggest disappointment for me, because I was excited for it, and coming out in a state like this, it makes Battlefield 4 look completely polished and perfect. It makes all the other disappointments of this year pale in comparison, because all those games looked either A, they looked like what they were supposed to be, or B, they worked. And they had one of those two. And Rebirth screws up on both sides of it. 1, it's not a good game. 2, it doesn't work. 3, it's disappointing. 4, there's a lot of stuff wrong with it and it should not have been released. 5, it's a disgrace to the X series. And we need a giant space sim. Maybe they, you know, maybe they just realized, oh crap, Star Citizen's coming out in like 2 years. So we probably should get this out before they... No, that doesn't make any sense at all. I'm just trying to think of why they would release it in a state like this, or they'd even make a game like this. Where's the audience for a hardcore space sim that's been casualized? It's like freaking first-person shooter Angry Birds, or like a third-person shooter Plants vs. Zombies. Oh. Well, those are the most disappointing games of the year for me. Write in the comments, or comment in the comments, what games you thought really, like, god damn, why'd I buy this? Or obtain this through legal means. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Cheers!